So what's up, everybody? It's your boy Takedownman, and today I am chilling in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. I had to get out the house for a little bit. I was getting some cabin fever. However, though, guys, I have already pre-recorded my Confessions of a Serial Killer last night, and at my house, so you don't have to worry about all the background noise and stuff in it. But yeah, so pretty much though, guys, this is your boy Takedownman, and this is Confessions of a Serial Killer, and we're going over the story of Rabid Cannibal. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. You know what? Fuck that. I'm not asking for forgiveness because I am a God. A God to all mortal men. For I am mortal myself. However, my legacy shall live on through those that I have terrified, those I have killed, the prey. Something you are, something I am not. We're going to go ahead and jump into the 1980s. Yes, I've done many things up until this point. However, I think the 80s are the most equivocal time of my life. Because that was when I met a man by the name of Joseph Kony. See, we had traveled to Africa and had snuck into the northern parts in a lovely little shithole called the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, for those of you who don't know who this man is, he is a god pretty much himself, although he claims to be a Christian, and he's claimed to be visited by many spirits. However, I don't really give a shit about that. I was introduced to him by a tour guide many years ago. And this tour guide told me that if I wanted to hunt human, this would be the man I wanted to talk to. So I did. I talked to Mr. Kony. And it was amazing to see just how crazy this fucker was. You may think I'm crazy. However, this guy was nuts. But he was a predator nonetheless. So he understood where I came from. And we had made a deal. For 50 American dollars, he would provide me with 2 people to do whatever I wanted with, and a place to do it. See, this guy was known for taking children and making them sex slaves and soldiers and so on. And honestly, I had no problem with that, as he was a predator much like myself. So is what I did. I did give him the money. And as promised, he gave me a place with 2 people that I picked out myself, a male and a female. Now, if you don't know about how to skin a person alive, this is something I had been wanting to do. I had researched, I had studied it. And there was no telling how long a person would last whenever you do this. So I decided to do it. At least with the first one. The second one, I had other plans for. But I did make the second one watch what happened to the first one. Is what I did. They provided me all the tools that I needed for surgery. And it was amazing, the stuff that these people could get for next to nothing. I'm starting to love this place. However, there were a few complications, such as I had to take a bite out of a raw human heart to prove that, well, I was serious about my intent. That wasn't very good. I Gonna tell you now. Unless if it's cooked, it's not a good thing to eat a human heart because it's just, well, just nasty. It's very chewy and very rough. It's not soft. It's not tender. It's just nasty. However, I walked into this room. Very soundproof. Very thick doors. I was told that neither one of these two were to come out alive. So is what I did. Well, how do I put it? I started cutting on the one. And it was a female, probably about the age of 15 or 16. I don't really know. I don't really care. To say that it was an amazing experience would be underselling it greatly. The screams, the panic, the sheer terror alone that you can give somebody by pain is just an enormous feeling. If you've never been there, you will never know. I suggest you try it sometime. Anyhow, I took a very, very sharp scalpel knife and just barely cut the first layer of skin off. Now, I will tell you this. Skin does not just come off layer by layer. You have to cut and cut and cut and cut. And it makes this really weird just noise as you're cutting it and lifting it, cutting it and lifting it. This person had to pass out multiple times while I was doing this. It took hours just to get layers of flesh off of the legs. But I wasn't done yet. I even went to the arms and the face. And then I turned her over. At this point, she's unconscious, coming in and out of it, in and out of it. She's saying something, and I have no idea what the hell this bitch is saying. But I don't really care at this point. I start to take everything off of her back. All the skin. Now, if you think this is sadistic, trust and believe. Everything that I've done is nothing in comparison to what this man has done to people. I am sane compared to this man. So, getting back to the story, I cut all the skin off of her back and cut a lot of the skin off her scalp. I wanted to keep a scalp. I wanted to actually keep all the skin to make jewelry out of, to do something with it. I'm not really sure what I wanted it for, but I wanted it. Unfortunately, they told me I couldn't keep it, and they burned the skin. But I did get to do one thing. I got to watch, day in, day out, as this girl just suffered and suffered and suffered. And I would walk up and I would touch where I cut the skin off, just to make her scream. She would scream, she would pass out. She would come back too. Now, after a day of this, I did notice that it wasn't looking too good for her. However, she had a lot of fight in her. She really did. I kept coming back and coming back to see what had happened. The next day, there was already a smell coming from her body. She wasn't dead. She really wasn't. And I made sure that I didn't even mess with the gut because I didn't want her getting sepsis and dying early. However, she had infection starting to set in. So is what I did is I left her there and went to the one that was next to her. Now, I kept giving this person wine because I heard that If you're going to do what I'm fixing to do, why and actually makes the meat sweeter? Yes, that's right. I was going to cannibalize this bitch for the first time. My first cannibalistic experience. You wonder why I call myself the Rabid Cannibal? This is why. I walked up and I had a blowtorch in my hand. Yes, they do provide you with blowtorches. These fuckers provide you with anything and everything you need. And they provided me with this thing that looked like a sword, but it really didn't look like a sword. It looked like a really, really cool machete. I walked up and I remember just hacking and hacking and hacking away at the leg. It didn't just come off that easily. It did come off though. And once I was done, they told me it was as easy as just burning the leg right there where I cut it. And it really was. I mean, it was easy for me anyways. It wasn't easy for her, but it was easy for me. And then they showed me how to take the skin off, how to take the muscle apart from everything, how to clean it, and how to cook it. These people were fucking masters at it. Now, to begin with, I cooked it just like they had showed me. And then I did start eating it, and thinking about what I was eating, I instantly started throwing up. However, once I got over that point of it, it was actually rather delicious. It was almost like a really lean pork kind of lamb taste in a way. And a lot of you out there are probably thinking, oh man, this is horrible. It's not horrible. People over there do it all the time. And just for good measure, I will let you know, a lot of the body was consumed. Not just by me, but by other soldiers. And they actually said I was a rather good cook. It's amazing to know just what it entails to eat another living being. You take their soul inside of you. You can feel it. The unfortunate side effect of it is you get the shakes and you start to crave it more and more. It got to the point to where I was often talking to Mr. Kony and buying more and more people just to get a taste of something. Now, I had learned that these people are very superstitious, and being superstitious are very easy to persuade into other things. Now, being that I was not black and I was in Northern Africa and there was a conflict going on, a lot of people would come to me thinking I was like the UN or the Red Cross or something. And I found out that these people love albinos. They really believe they have super magical powers. And at this time, the albinos were hiding a lot. So as what I would do is I would tell these people that I was with the Red Cross. They would come willingly with me. And once we got to the camp, they would trade me 15 people. And some days I would just walk in and just stab one to death. I would shoot one to death. I would hang one. I mean, it was just an endless opportunity and possibilities. The problem is every time I would do it at first, it seemed as if time would just stop. Time would stop and everything just made sense to me. Even eating the person gave me a high like you wouldn't believe. But like I said, there are withdrawals to it. So every now and then, I would go back and get another albino, get more people. And it's just amazing. I can't explain it to you in any other way, shape, or form. Just how amazing it is. So, do you want to know what it's like? Do you want to know what happened to the other person? I'll be more than happy to tell you right now. The other person, as they were fading in and out of consciousness, this cross-dressing cannibal guy run up and just said he had to have a bite. So I let him have a bite, and he started biting right at the knee to where I torched it. And he started eating raw. He started eating the meat raw, and then others run up and started doing the same thing. To me, it was very unusual to see this, as, well, let's just say what I'm doing is not exactly the most popular thing, but in this country it was. So to me, it was almost as sitting with friends at dinner, just normal. You heard the screams of the girl. One guy bit the breast and ripped the nipple clean off, and he said that was the best part. Not really sure, as I'm not trying to eat anything raw. These people have a lot of diseases, and we know this. However, it's just the way it is there, I guess. And I can type about this all day. I really can. You guys will probably read every bit of it. Because in your minds, you wish you were me. You wish you were just as powerful and as much of a predator as I was. And still am. Yes, that's right. To this day, I am still doing things, which you will find out soon. But all through the 80s, Mr. Kony is the reason why I was able to do most of what I've done. Yes, I'm sure many of you will say, oh my God, you gave out your location. I can be tracked now. No, not hardly. As far as I'm concerned, we were never there. And they'll never tell, as most of them are in on it as well. And the albino children were so easy for me to come by that it was just amazing. I will probably never have another experience like that in my life, but there are still plenty more experiences for you to find out about. And that girl that I skinned, it took that bitch 4 days to die. 4 long days for her. But I will tell you what, she had a lot of fight in her. She really did. She had an amazing spirit. And for that, she's a little higher on the list of prey than most. She eventually died due to infection, or at least that's what I think, that's what I believe. I won't tell you what I was there for, but because then that would actually probably give me away. So I'm not going to say anything about that. But if you want to know more, do you really want to know? There were even some local doctors that I got to kill. Some doctors that are from where I am from. Because they would cross the lines to go over there, and I would talk them into it. And whenever I did, I would tell them, oh, there's hurt children, this and that. And like idiots, they would follow me. And I would have the soldiers kidnap them, and then I would show up, and I would do what I had to do. Does this sound evil to you? Because it doesn't to me. To me, this is just the way life is, and the way life works. So if you want to hear more, come back tomorrow. I shall tell you. This has been my confession. The confession of a serial killer, but now a god. Enjoy, people. I hope you value what little life you have. So, are you guys scared yet? Are you ready for more? Tune in next time for another Confessions of a Serial Killer. Peace out. Mahalo. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.